Alrighty then. So that was me fighting and beating the pursuer. 0 hit. Did I get 0 hits? I don't keep track of that stuff. Probably got some chip damage in there somewhere. So my tips for the pursuer. The pursuer is probably the worst boss I've seen in the Soul series ever. Other than the multi-bosses like the Ruin Guardians, the Ruin Sentinels. What the fuck? This guy has impeccable tracking and he closes distance like a motherfucker. Here are my tips. Forget armor. You want to get below 30% because you roll like a crazy man when you do that. And your stamina regenerates like a crazy man too. Now I know this character's level 68 and I've been to the Lost Bastion. But here's the trick. His charge attack is super easy to parry. It is so easy to parry. I get the sensation there are several hit frames in there somewhere that don't do any damage. You can still parry. So all you really have to do is you have to lure him into the ballista and get a shot off. There are 2 ballistas. He will instantaneously destroy them with 1 hit. He takes forever without the ballistas. I get the sensation this boss was entirely designed to be fought co-op because it just doesn't work single player without the ballistas. It just doesn't. I tried a lot, and I'm an experienced Souls player, but the mechanics just don't work out in your favor at all. If I remember correctly, this guy gives you a Tree of the Seeds if you get invaded. I'm not online right now, so who cares? But the reason that you want to fight him, regardless of the fact that you can just go beat the Flexile Sentry, is that there's a really easy to obtain shield here. You get the Dranlaic Sword, which I think is alright-ish. It's good. I don't even know how good it is. But what you do get is you get the Archdrake Shield. When the fuck did I get this? It's probably some. Oh yeah, you get that. Yep, yeah, you get that. I think with the Archdrake robes, somewhere out there. But other than the Old Knights, which takes 24, you can get the Dranlaic Shield. It takes 16 strength, but it's 100% physical resistance shield, and it is very stable compared to most other shields you can use right now. Yeah. I recommend going for the Iron Parma just to get that physical defense in case you decide to block. But since you'll be dodge rolling a lot, yeah. You might want to go with the Buckler. You can go with the Small Leather Shield. You pick this up relatively early, I think just before the Cardinal Tower. And it only takes 5 strength, so even the Mage can use it with 2 level ups. And you can start parry. Just parry him and then attack. Otherwise, keep your distance, and I don't... Not kidding. Keep your fucking distance. Well, oh, he's just on the floor. I always thought this guy came from above. Sorry that there's no sound. There might be no sound. I don't even know. But yeah. He is a really annoying boss. I dislike Dark Souls 2 a lot. Sure. The whole difficulty part was because of its non-conformist control scheme and the fact that it just worked different. And that shields are actually useful. That was a big change that nobody got around to, especially with Skyrim telling you, shields are fucking stupid. So anyway, the reason I hate this game is not just because it has some fucking design problems, but it just downright copies elements from Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and it does them in the wrong order. Or just does them wrong in general. It's not my game. It's not my game. Maybe it's just a terrible game. Maybe it just isn't designed well. Maybe it did everything wrong, and it does a lot of things wrong. It improves a lot of things, too. Don't get me wrong. Dark Souls 2 fixes a lot of things that I think Dark Souls 1 should have had to begin with, such as using souls quickly. But the graphics are... I'm not a person to complain about graphics, but I can just smell the lower fidelity, the less effort that went into this place. And it just disgusts me. Ugh. So once you get here, I don't think you can... You might be able to... But yeah, once you're here, you'll see that guy. Oh, wow, this is actually, wow. Surprising. But you can jump over here, and you can go over here, and you can fight this guy if you really want to. But I've never gotten this because you can only get it this way. You can get a Radiant Life Gem and Large Titanite Shard. Over there is the gold covetous Serpent Ring, which I did not have equipped. I had this one equipped so I could get a little bit more carry load out of it. Yes, I know that I'm using better equipment, but it doesn't really matter what your loadout is. Oh, by the way, I fucking love that. They just explode when they fall, which makes absolutely no sense. You can just kick them kaput. Let me prove that. You can kick them kaput. Yeah, the kick also really doesn't... Oh. I thought it... Oh, yeah, it's when you roll into it that it doesn't do that. But yeah. The reason they did this is so that 1v multiple combat just gets worse. The kick was super useful. Now it's not. Why do enemies fall over when you parry? Because then you can't use your riposte anymore, because enemies are impossible to riposte when there's millions of them. Why is a backstab suddenly... Well, actually, backstabs don't even work anymore. Due to the way the game handles due to the way that enemies track you now... How the fuck am I supposed to backstab people? The game is completely geared towards being in the favor of the enemy, while the original Souls games were actually geared towards you. They wanted you to win and feel good, and the difficulty was entirely you being a jackass. Here, the difficulty is artificially created by creating, stopping points and just difficult to get around moments. Ugh. Look at this guy. Well, actually, this guy is... I don't get why this guy has such bad tracking compared to some of the other goons you have to fight to get here. Ugh. Also, if you do not have the Iron Parma and you want to use it anyway, it's not that hard to get. Oh, fuck, I forgot. I don't have my... Yep, I don't have my staff equipped. Why don't I? I don't know why it does that. Pew! I do like the new spells, however. I don't like agility. I hate agility. Agility is everything that is wrong with this game. You know what agility does? It changes the one thing that everyone had in common in the Souls games. Everyone used their items and Estus in the same speed. Agility fucks that up. I'm also hating the natural poise. These two things are just so bad. I just don't like what Dark Souls did. It did so many... It improved so much. It did so many things right that it originally did wrong. And then it does so many things wrong that it originally did perfectly fine. Oh, and just to prove that this game is just full of, here's lots of enemies, fucking deal with it. You're like, oh man, I just fought a couple of dogs and that guy. And you walk over here and like, I'm going to open this door. This door looks nice to open. And like, oh, there's a guy. That's not looking like a problem at all. Whoopsie snicker fucking doodles, there's 5 guys! And they all come at once. Okay, that guy didn't trigger for whatever reason, but there's still like 3 of them. When I said this game was geared towards being unfair, I meant this. I also dislike the shield animation because it looks like it's way longer than it has to be. Yes, I saw you, sir. No need to remind me you exist. Like, I can fight big guys. I also don't like the stamina drain because it just puts Wizard in a worse spot. Oh yeah, a lot of spells in Dark Souls were geared towards 1v1 combat. A lot of weapons were geared towards 1v1 combat. Spears are so much more useful. And you want to know something else? Because these attacks are all 1v1 and your weapon range is kind of poopy compared to 1, it is impossible to hit multiple foes effectively. And considering you're fighting hundreds of them, it just becomes a battle of guessing where you are. Also, a lot of originally good attacks, like stabby attacks, which are good because you're often in tight corridors, they got rid of them for whatever reason. I'm noticing that being able to roll and not being heavy seems to help a lot more than good armor. Which, again, look at this guy. Look at him track me everywhere I go. And then I guess enemies did that anyway. But yeah, just... Maybe I'm just complaining, I need to get used to it, but... Also, backstabs are so much more annoying. Ugh, I just hate how annoying they are. And they also have their own little animation, too, which I hate even more. I don't know why they did that. I guess it's a 100% chance anyway, but just don't do it. I don't even know. Maybe I'm just still grumpy and I'm getting used to it finally, but I still prefer the old way of things were going. If I remember, blowing that up opens up a wall. It doesn't. What the fuck is with this door? What the fuck is this door for? Why is there a door? Hey there. I remember reading there's a shortcut between the ruined sentinels and this. Also, the Ruined Sentinels again embodies the worst of this game. Running around at the speed of sound. The reason enemies despawn, by the way, is so that you have a fair chance. You fucking idiot! What the hell was wrong with you? I wasn't even standing there. He's just like, oh, I'm a sneaky son of a gun, ain't I? Oh. Also, two-handing a weapon doesn't seem to do anything anymore. Look at this. 36? Oh. Well, the club didn't do anything. The club, by the way, is still fucking great. Can I heartily recommend the club? The club's great. Use it. Just use the club. It does everything it needs to. Look at how barren this looks. It doesn't look like anything interesting ever happened here. What is this place even? It's called the Lost Bastille, but nothing is happening. It's just a place with some prisons. Look at me. I'm in prison. Through there's this lost sense. I'm not gonna try that. I've got souls, and I would like to spend them. Silver talisman. For whatever reason, a one-use... fuck... Look at all these items that I don't care about. I also don't like the inventory because it makes it slightly more difficult to keep track of stuff. I don't like the UI. Here's the thing. I can't tell how much bonus parameter damage I get. I can tell it here by comparing, but that's a hassle. Also, this is kind of unclear-ish as to what this means. I often find myself scrolling through it by accident. But yeah. Oh, my agility. I'm pretty sneaky. Ooh, this game's weird. I don't think this only matters for dual wielding. Yeah, they poise damage. There's so much. Just use a poise damage weapon. The stone ring is great. Just use it. Because you will find super duper fast that if you can't poise break an enemy, you're fucked. Ha! And considering most enemies have zero poise, for the most part, go for it. Anyway... I can beat the Pursuer legitimately without needing to cheat, which is good. I like that. I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll make an actual video about why I hate the shit out of this game that is slightly more balanced. You know, I'd give some opinions, way to good to the bad, maybe do it after I play the game through all the way, so I have a more, you know, more insightful opinion. But until then, just fucking hell, man. This game was made to be difficult, not made to be fun or playable. Well, it was made to be playable, to an extent. But it's just... It's sad. It's so sad. Just like that guy sitting over there. He didn't need to be here! Why do we need another crestfallen guy? Fuck him over here. We don't need another one of you. We don't. The crestfallen warrior was primarily there because the story was unclear. The story here is super unclear. I mean, you start out with, like, trying to find an answer to the curse, and then they're like, hey, there's a king. And I'm like, okay, there's a king. What do I do with the king? And they're like, there's a king. I hate this game, and I like it. I don't know. I like some of it, but I hate most of it. I hate the gameplay. The mechanics are there, but the execution is horrible. If you want my opinion, that is probably the most consistent element of it all. I like the mechanics. Mechanically speaking, it's a great game. The graphics engine is going places. But the execution is horrible. Nothing graphically interesting happened. The world map is a mess. That's the forest? I didn't walk that far. Heidi's Tower of Flame? When the fuck did I walk that mile? Where's the Lost Bastille? The Lost Bastion. Where the fuck is that place? I can't see it from here. Where is it? Well, I guess you take a boat, but fuck. And then there's the mechanics. The game is geared towards 1v1 combat, and boy is 1v1 combat fun, but then enemies track you like a motherfucker, so 1v1 combat becomes an annoying chore of waiting until they get staggered long enough for you to attack, or just taking damage in the process. So yeah, Pursuer. Parry, Ballista, hit him.